Hello you beautiful people and welcome back to Joeboy Racing. In today's video I'm going to be previewing my bets for King George Day at Ascot on Saturday, as well as one fancy that I have at York in the York Stakes. It's going to be a bit of a shorter video today. Normally I have a few more selections, but I've only got 3 for you today, potentially 4, but we'll see come the end of the video. So let's get stuck into it. In the first race at Ascot, the 140 Princess Margaret Stakes, which is a Group 3 over 6 furlongs. In my previous video, my anti-post video that I put up, I mentioned Midnight Tango at 14 to 1. I had a small each way play on it, nothing massive. Obviously, you have other leading claims in here from some good Ascot form from Flowerhead and Stayer. However, they've only run over 5 furlongs, and I think the fact that Midnight Tango's proven over the 6 is a massive benefit. He didn't get the best of rides, I don't think, from Kieran Schumacher last time. Was probably a little bit too far off the pace and should have won that class-listed race against Argentine Tango, who's then gone and finished a respectable third, but behind a very good horse, Venetian Sun. And it's just one of those horses, Midnight Tango. If you watch her runs back, she's just been improving with every single run. She was very green on debut. Lost to the favourite Dance to Music, who's now been withdrawn. So Flowerhead's replacing Dance to Music at the head of the market. However, in the next race, again, it was green, but it improved and it won. And then I think Class 1 listed race, they've sort of worked out the tactics. The penny's dropping for the horse. And I just think it's going to have a really good chance. Obviously, advised at 14 to 1 in my anti-post video. You can currently get 10 to 1 with 3 places with certain bookmakers. If you want the extra place with Bet365, you can get 8 to 1 about it. So a little bit of the value in the price has gone, but still backable each way. And I think she's going to be in the frame. In the 220 at Royal Ascot, we have the Valiant Stakes over 1 mile. For me, the selection here is Chantilly Lace. It's a filly that I followed all season. I had an each way bet on it at Newmarket in the 1,000 guineas. I then mentioned it in my Royal Ascot Day 4 preview. I put up Chantilly as my main selection, but said that that was a horse to keep an eye on and maybe have a small each way bet if you weren't fancying Chantilly. She won a maiden last year. She's then been saved or whatever for next season. And then she got entered straight away in her second ever run into the Guineas Group 1 and then into a Group 1 again for her third ever race. And she wasn't disgraced either time. I think, obviously, Connections think they have a really classy filly on their hands here. I think she's going to come improve massively for the step down in class. I think as well at 7 to 2, that's a good price about her. You know, it's not one of these odds on fabs. Still enough value in the price, I think. I've backed her win only. She run this course and distance before as well last time out, which I think is a massive plus, and it didn't look to have affected her negatively at all. She gets weight as well from the second favourite, Royal Dress. So I think this is a really good bet here, guys, at 7 to 2. Looking back as well, this is probably one that I should have tipped up to bet anti-post when you could get 6 to 1 about her. But the fact that Hector Crouch was jocked up on Fair Point, I just really didn't think she was going to win. So when declarations come out and I saw she was in, I was very happy about that because I think this is going to be a good filly. Like I say, Rafe Beckett obviously fancies her to be a top class filly. There are a couple of dangers in here. I might actually throw a win dart at Bermuda Longtail as well. I think she can be forgiven for her last run and back on a more straightforward track. Coming off the pace, I think she could be in the frame as well. So I might have a small each way cover bet or just throw a win dart at Bermuda Longtail. So my fancy at York, guys, comes in the 240, the York Stakes over 1 mile, 2 furlongs. It's a Group 2. And my selection here is Bay City Roller. Obviously, you've got short price fav Al McCam at the top of the market. Stanhope Gardens, who ran pretty valiantly in the Derby as well, second in the market. Bay City Roller sits third. I got on him at 10 to 1 on Thursday, which I think is a lot better value. I mean, he's 6.5 to 1, 13 to 2 now. So that might be a little bit too skinny for you. I was a proper scumbag and backed him each way as well, even though there's only 2 places. But I just think he's a really progressive 3-year-old. He comes second to Opera Ballo under a penalty last time out, ran on gamely over a mile, and Opera Ballo looks like he's going to be a proper horse. He then went over to France and run in a Group 2 race over 1 mile 2 furlongs, his first time trying the trip, and he finished 3/4 of a length behind an unbeaten horse called De Riz, who's second favourite in the market, along with 3 or 4 others as well for the Arc de Triomphe. So it's obviously a top class horse. He gets weight as well off Al McCam, which I think is going to help him. And I think the ground is going to be good to soft in places. And I don't think he'll mind a little bit of juice. So for me, at 10-1, he was a proper solid bet. 6.5-1, 13-2 might be a bit too tight for you. But for me, in this race, the selection is Bay City Roller. Right, I said at the start of the video, guys, it might be 4 bets. I'm not going to put this one up as a selection because this one's a little bit more heart over head. I'm going to back in the international handicap. I'm going to back Northern Express each way with 6 places at 10-1. I'm not advising it as a selection. I'm just letting you know that I've backed it personally. I felt a little bit bad last week when I put up Cardham because that again was a bit more heart over head, really. So I'm not putting them up as an official selection, but I'm just letting you know I have had a bet each way, 6 places on Northern Express. So do with that what you will. If you want to back him as well and get on, fair play. He did win this last year. I think he's £2 better off this year, so I don't think he's out of the frame. However, I do think there's probably some better handicapped horses on here. Obviously, draw plays a big part in this as well. So if he's on the right side, I think he's going to be in a sniff with a sniff. But the last 3 years, he's finished 4th, 4th, and 1st. So with 6 places on the go, I sort of viewed it as a little bit of a bet to nothing at 10-1. So that concludes my bets for the weekend, guys. We had a bit of luck last week. We had a good few winners last week. Fingers crossed I can follow in that same form. I know it doesn't happen like that every weekend, but we'll see how we get on. As always, guys, let me know down in the comments what you've backed this weekend. I know one of the friends of the channel has backed Billy Joe in that handicap where I'm having Northern Express. So fingers crossed for him that runs well. Let me know what you're backing, what your fancies are. Let me know if you're going to be jumping on any of my selections, any of my bets. If you're new to the channel, give me a subscribe, guys. I'm going to be tipping up all the main action. Got Goodwood, Glorious Goodwood coming up as well. Keep getting stuck into the comments. Give me a like if you like the video, and happy punting.